Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, should Sir Keir Starmer be stripped of his knighthood? He has steadfastly refused to listen to the country, instead, turning his back and bulldozing on with his agenda to destroy any vestiges of free speech to the extent that we will find ourselves as a silenced majority with no means with which to voice our opinions. In truth, should we also strip him of the Premiership? Sadly, neither will happen, and here's the reason why. Liz Truss was forced to resign after a mere 50 days because she lost the faith of the money men. But two-tier Keir will remain in office because we, the people, do not count to those who control not only this country, but also the paths of others around the world. So long as two-tier Keir is steering the UK into those dark and murky waters, then all is well for him. I mean, the guy was a human rights lawyer. Really? Imagine the uproar if we accused all human rights lawyers of being self-serving, monarchy-loathing, egotistical turncoats like Sir Keir. And he turns like a weather vane in the slightest gust of wind. Well, that is how Sir Keir has accused the general public, and he's labelled us as far-right thugs when asked to nominate their highest concerns in the run-up to the general election. And who wished to make those concerns debated and actioned in and through the vestiges of Parliament around immigration and asylum, highest up on the agenda. So instead, Sir Keir turned his back on the people, and he took the generalisation that all of us are far-right thugs. Outrageous. Of course, there is a genuine issue with Islamophobia, but unless it is debated like we wish, no one knows how big or small that issue really is. The government is intent on creating mountains where hitherto there were none, and talking into existence a very wide division in the people of this country. Sir Keir is looking for absolutes. Either you're with two-tier or you are against him. If you're with him, you'll be rewarded. But if you are against or you disagree, you are fair game to be targeted, denigrated, and labelled in negative ways and painted out as a pariah. Two-tier wants a public list of people he considers as pariahs simply because we question both his actions and his motives. In a free society, we should be allowed, actually, we should be encouraged to think critically and to question both the actions and the motives of those who serve. This is what a democracy is about. It is about the power of the people and governing dependent on the will of the people. Well, the will of the people wishes to debate several matters that are extremely concerning to them, and those top concerns, according to this poll by YouGov before the general election, were around the cost of living, immigration, asylum, and the economy. So this first part of the poll is looking at the cost of living is the issue Britons are most likely to say will affect them and how they vote at the general election. So in this first column here, highlighted in red, it says, and finally, which of the following will be the most important issues in deciding who you will vote for coming at the upcoming election? Please tick up to 3. And then the second half in purple says, and of these issues, which ones will be the most single defining issue that you'll vote upon? So the top 4, cost of living, health, the economy in general, and immigration and asylum. So this isn't broken down by political persuasion. This is just broken down by the people. And then when you break it down as the single most important issue to you, number 2 on the list was the issue of immigration and asylum, which came just after the cost of living. So if we interrogate the list further, it says here the most important issues, while the cost of living comes top for those intending to vote Labour. So Labour voters intended the cost of living as the most important issue that was on their agenda. Immigration is the most common for Tory and especially Reform UK voters. So if you look here in dark blue, the Conservatives have said immigration asylum has 45%, and Reform UK has 82%. And then you have the economy in general, the cost of living and health. So if we interrogate further, what is the single most important issue to deciding how people will vote? So for the Conservatives, it was immigration and asylum, just above the economy in general, and the cost of living and public health. Okay, Labour, their most important was the cost of living, and then equally the economy and health, and not so much around immigration. Now, if you look at Reform UK, it was around immigration and asylum, and then you had a breakdown of economy, cost of living, and health. So if you put these together, there was a very wide ranging aspect for the people to debate the issues around immigration and asylum. And if Sir Keir Starmer really did listen to the voice of the people, that would be very, very, very high up on his agenda, as well with the cost of living. But today I've actually found out that they're now looking at things like misogyny, which is a serious issue, but no way on any of these lists is misogyny mentioned that I can see on that list as affecting how people will vote. So what's going on with Sir Keir Starmer? The people have spoken. The people have called out loud. There are issues that need to be debated. And if you look at this chart, the issues are around immigration and asylum, the economy in general, the cost of living, and health, higher than anything else. So Sir Keir Starmer, if you're not listening to the people, then there are a couple of questions we need to ask. Should your knighthood be removed? And should you be voted and removed out of office as soon as possible? Guys, let me know down here in the comments section, what are your viewpoints? What are your feelings? And what is really concerning you? Remember to try to keep this within the legal parameters and framework, people, which you've done perfectly. You've been great, absolutely great. I read all your comments, people, and there are so many that I can't really respond to all of them. So the thing is, if I respond to one or two, then it could well upset other people to say, well, why are you not responding to my comments? But I've read all your comments, and thank you so much, guys. You've really put me onto situations that I didn't know about, and you really alerted me to what's going on. So guys, and make certain that you look after yourselves, you look after each other, you keep within the letter of the law, people. You keep within the letter of the law. And guys, please make sure and make certain to come back to the next Urban Bars reaction, guys. I'm out.